Hello you guys, welcome back to Travel and Crime. I am Kaylee, and in this series I cover a true crime case or a haunting or anything else spooky or kind of weird and up my alley that happened where we are RVing at the time. So since we're a nomadic family, we are constantly traveling to new places, so there's definitely no shortage of topics to cover. So Anthony and I were out on a date night. We were eating at the Cork and Keg in downtown Waxahachie, and we just found it on Google. I had no clue it was next to the Rogers Hotel. I've read about the Rogers Hotel. It's one of the most haunted places in Waxahachie, but I had no clue that the restaurant we picked was right next to it. We wrap up dinner. The waitress says like, hey, you guys should go down to the dessert spot. They've got great like cookies and things, and you guys should just try it out while you're down here. And we're like, awesome. As we are walking from the Cork and Keg to the dessert spot, I look to my left and it's the Rogers Hotel. And I told Anthony, I was like, dude, we're going in. Like, we are going in here. I've read about it. I love all things paranormal. I love all things true crime. Like, I'm going inside. You can stay out here, dude, but I'm going in. And he was like, no, I've never heard of it, but let's go on in. So we walk in, and you guys, like, I grew up in haunted houses. Like, my mom has always picked like the oldest house humanly possible. Paranormal activity was a normal occurrence growing up. Like, that's all normal. But I've never walked into a place that like the air was thick with history. That's the most descriptive way I can think to convey it to you guys. Like, without actually being there, that's the best way I can explain it. It was just thick with history, and it was just like the place was alive. So we're walking around and whatnot, and I'll insert some videos because I didn't realize that it was going to be right next to where we were eating, or I would have like prepared to film this video in there. And right now they do have some lofts that I know you can lease and like live there. It's not a hotel any longer, but businesses are there. There's some restaurants and things. I wasn't spooked out until So of course Anthony had to pee because his bladder is that of a small puppy. And we just walked down these stairs. And the bathrooms are... So when you walk in, you do feel like the building is alive. You feel a lot of energy, a lot of history, like it feels, but it doesn't feel scary. Like, I wasn't spooked out when I walked in. I didn't get any like negative vibes. And the bathroom at the Rogers Hotel building is located in the basement. And when I tell you that there is an energy shift like nothing else when you go from that main lobby, like main level floor, down the steps and into the basement, I wouldn't go to the bathroom. Like, I had to pee so bad, and I told Anthony, I was like, I'm holding it until we get home because I can't go down there. And I think I caught it on the video as well, but in the basement, like where the bathrooms are, you have to walk like through a hallway and then open a door to get to the bathroom. And I was like, no. And of course Anthony's like, well, I'm gonna go pee. Like, of course you are. Like, literally somebody could be like levitating on the ceiling next to Anthony and be like, so we're gonna hit a really brief history, and I do want to cover like the history behind this building before we jump into the hauntings and all things paranormal and the juicy stuff. But the building was actually named after Emory Rogers, who was actually the founder of Waxahachie, Texas. So in 1847, Emory W. Rogers, the founder of Waxahachie, he put a log cabin on the land that the Rogers Hotel presently sits on. So then in 1856, Emory Rogers replaces that cabin with a 2-story hotel. But tragically, it was ruined and destroyed by a fire. And that fire that destroyed that 2-story hotel happened in 1881. And then this is where things start to get pretty weird. One fire, it's tragic and it's horrible. But 2 fires in the exact same spot, that's pretty weird. And that's exactly what happened. So the Waxahachie Real Estate and Building Association actually rebuilt a new 2-story hotel to replace the one that had tragically burnt down. But then the weird part is, you guys, that one that they rebuilt in place of the other one that had already burnt down, it burnt down too in 1911. So that's 2 fires in the same place. Then in 1912, C.D. Hill, who was an architect, he actually created the Rogers Hotel that is currently standing today. And the one that is built today, the one that was built by that architect, is said to be fireproof, which is definitely a good idea. You know, 1 fire is tragic, 2 is getting weird. So I mean, definitely it's good that it's considered fireproof today. Now that we've covered a brief history of what happened to kind of get the Rogers Hotel that you can currently visit present day, now we can dive into the paranormal stuff. So you know how I said earlier that there were lofts that you could lease? So some people do live there. It's no longer a hotel, but you can technically live there in these lofts. So there is a resident named Nina B, and she didn't disclose her last name in this story or in this interview because she was afraid that paranormal researchers would kind of harass her for more information, and she didn't want that. Here is her account of what she experienced firsthand in the Rogers Hotel. So Nina says that, like, she's a realist. She, you know, she said that weird stuff happened all the time. She'd hear different noises or think she saw something, and she would kind of just toss it up to, you know, that was kind of weird. Maybe it was this, maybe it was that, you know, just kind of explaining things away. She said that the thing that really got her to think, like, I don't think this is explainable, you know. She said that so it was a door handle, so not the knob, but like the handle, and like that you could pull down. Okay, I'm horrible at explaining. You would never want me on your team for Pictionary. Okay. Is that the one where you acted out? No, charades. You don't want me on your team for charades. Okay. So she said that she was sitting in her living room, and her door handle to her front door went down really slowly and then went up really slowly. So it's not that, you know, something happened and the door did something weird. I don't know. That's our washer. I'm so sorry. It's so loud, but what if RV live? So Nina was saying that the significance of this was it couldn't be explained away by the door shifting or something odd happening, because the handle went down slowly and then it went up slowly. So it was like somebody was on the other side of the door tilting it down and then tilting it up. So if something would have happened, she said if something would have snagged on it from the other side, or if something would have shifted and the door would have shifted or whatever, you know, if the handle goes down by accident, it should spring up or something, right? But she said it was an obvious intentional movement. You could tell it's like somebody was standing on the other side just moving it in slow motion. And she said it wasn't completely uncommon for, you know, people to mistake her door for like a business or something like that. So she didn't think a lot of it at first. She just knew that somebody was standing on the other side because of the movement of that handle. It couldn't be explained away. So she said she got up and she ran to the door to open it really fast, and that way, you know, she could help anybody find, you know, what they were really looking for or just see what was going on. And she said you could look both ways and there was no one. She said you couldn't hear any footsteps. There was nobody around. And she said that was the first time she had really thought to herself, you know, there's something going on here. Nina also said that up by the very, very top floor of the Rogers Hotel, there was a window and you could see a chandelier through that window. And she said there was a night that she was kind of, you know, looking out and she saw the lights in there just go on, off, on, off, on, off, just on repeat. It wouldn't stop. And she just said it was just strange. Nobody was in there. Nobody was over there. It was just like a vacant area that she said that was strange. That's not something that would normally happen. Now, though Nina says that, you know, she's one of the few residents who has not left or been scared away, and she says that she does feel pretty comfortable there. It's just home to her. So Nina says that she refuses to use the laundry room that's below the lobby. It's too creepy. And she says she will not go to the basement alone. Now, she's never had any issues with the elevator, but a lot of people note that that is one of the most paranormal places in the Rogers Hotel. She has said, however, that one time the elevator was stuck in between 2 floors, completely unoccupied, and she has seen the doors open and close by themselves pretty frequently. And it is the same elevator that was built in the original in 1912. Now, I do want to note that when Anthony and I went to the dessert spot, after we left the Rogers Hotel, we did go there. And so I asked the owner, I just said, you know, have you experienced anything? She said that when she signed her lease agreement, she had no clue it was haunted. So she says that she came in not long after, you know, purchasing that business space. And, you know, she's doing things around, you know, prepping to open and things. And she said she noticed a big puddle of water on the floor. Okay, it gives me goosebumps, you guys, because this is stuff that, like, I talked to this lady, I was in the building, I was there. So she says that, you know, she walks in or she looks over and she sees this big puddle of water. And you know, she's looking at the ceiling like any rational person, thinking, oh god, there's a leak I'm gonna have to fix. Said the ceiling was perfectly intact. It hadn't rained and nobody had been in. So she said that while talking to other people in the hotel about this random puddle of water, that the little girl that drowned in the pool often shows up as a puddle of water. And she's been known to do this in several businesses and different spaces in the hotel. This brings us to one of the ghosts that haunts the Rogers Hotel, and that is the little girl who drowned in the mineral-fed swimming pool in the basement of the Rogers Hotel. The mineral water was pumped to the pool and it was used for drinking purposes throughout the hotel as well. And so a little girl, she was said to be between the age of 4 and 6. I could not find her name or any further information. So the ghost of this little girl, one of the ways that she quote-unquote haunts the place is showing up as a puddle of water in various places. And the business owner I talked to said that this did happen to her and she had no clue about anything paranormal yet. People have said that they have seen her, things like that, weird noises, weird occurrences, but she is said to have been one of the people who passed away in this hotel, therefore one of the spirits that haunts the hotel. When people do see her or the silhouette of her, they say that they see her in the lobby or in the basement. Now earlier when I mentioned the elevator, you know, opening and shutting by itself and kind of having a mind of its own, she's also known to love to ride the elevator, open doors. She turns lights on and off, and she also turns the radio on and off. So the two spirits that are the most famous for haunting the Rogers Hotel are the little girl that we just talked about, but then also a cowboy. And I know that sounds kind of funny, but ghost that's in period clothing. So he's in like almost just not Wild West, but like when you think of the Wild West, you know, he has a cowboy hat. He just looks like a cowboy. That's what people call him. You know, when they see a silhouette, that's the thing that comes to mind. Fourth floor, there was a maintenance man that was staying, and this maintenance man was the only person there. The rest of the hotel was completely vacant at this time. And he hears a knock on his door. So he opens the door. The maintenance man said that this cowboy ghost motioning the maintenance man to the basement. And he said, don't come down here. Evil things happen here. And then he just kind of disappeared. So the maintenance man was found the next day by the owner of the hotel, and the maintenance man left at first chance and never went back. He was so spooked, and I would be, you know, I would be too. And there's actually the person who does the ghost tours in Waxahachie said that the basement of the Rogers Hotel is as like a vortex that attracts evil spirits and whatnot. And I will tell you guys, I mean, it's like you could chop the air with a knife. It was so heavy and just negative, and I was so spooked out. I had goosebumps, the hair everywhere was just, it was scary. Something else too, so the manager's son back in the 1900s supposedly hung himself in the elevator as well. So that's another factor that plays into the elevator being such a haunted area of the hotel as well. So there's the son of the manager from way back when who hung himself supposedly in that elevator. Then there's the little girl who fell into that pool in the basement. And then I'm not sure I find the backstory on that cowboy ghost that haunts the hotel as well. The little girl and the cowboy have been seen by countless witnesses. And though I didn't experience anything paranormal while I was there, I can tell you guys the energy is crazy. You've got to go if you can. It's a very well-known fact that this place is super haunted, and I hope that this video kind of gave you more information. And I'm going to link some articles down below and some pictures and things just so you can kind of get more information on the history and the different types of ghost stories. But yeah, you guys, I still can't believe I was actually there. Make sure to comment down below what you'd like to see next. We're traveling to Florida soon, and we'll be in New Orleans soon. And we'll be in Texas for a little while longer. So we're in Waxahachie right now. So if you'd like to see anything in any of those places, just comment it down below. I am happy to cover it. And I just appreciate you guys sitting through this video and listening to what I have to say. If you wouldn't mind taking a second to like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. I will catch you guys in the next video.